Well, from phones to airplanes, the problems facing Boeing's 787 Dreamliner have gotten out of control. A 787 Dreamliner making an emergency landing in Honolulu this weekend after an engine malfunction. Just one day after Boeing reported wing cracks on 787 Dreamliners in production. Here to weigh in, travel expert Mark Murphy. Hey, tonight, this is a concerning story. You know, the list of problems with the Dreamliner, it just goes on and on and on. Is this worrisome to you?
No, not to me. It isn't. I think whenever you introduce a game-changing aircraft like this aircraft and the way it's put together with composite materials, you're going to run into some issues. My only concern is if they weren't catching these things pre-production. Like right now, the wings, those are wings that are going on new aircraft, and they've noticed a problem, and now they're going to try to modify it to fix it. And that goes back to something in the production process of the wings, which are made by Mitsubishi of Japan, and they caught that and they said they changed their manufacturing process. They think that's what's causing it. But there are a lot of controls to stay on top of this aircraft, and all aircraft, to be frank. So I'm typically very confident in getting on board a Dreamliner.
I got to tell you, though, Mark, I look at the history of this aircraft, and it's deeply concerning to me. What have we had? We've had engine problems. Problems with the wings, as we just mentioned, fuel leaks, battery problems, wiring problems, you name it, flats, across the board, all kinds of issues. And of course, what is deeply concerning is this isn't a really attractive airplane to carriers because it's going to be so much cheaper to fly because it's made out of lightweight construction. So they're going to want to jump on this. But I have to tell you, the problems just make it seem like a real risk for flyers.
Well, I think what you have to look at is, you know, when you introduce something new, you are going to have glitches that you're going to have to work out. And so with every new aircraft that comes on, there are going to be glitches, and there are going to be things that they catch. So the biggest issue I think we've had in the last year was the lithium-ion batteries and the fires on board, because that can be catastrophic. So that was, the planes were grounded, which was an unusual thing a year ago. They fixed that problem. That seems to be taken care of. And now we're seeing, you know, an emergency landing in Honolulu because there was an engine oil light and they shut down that engine. They could technically fly that plane on a single engine. It's designed to do that. But of course, they want to take the safe route and land it in Honolulu and have the plane checked out because there's a lot of ocean in between there and San Francisco.
I would have been nervous.
So I think that's
Let me tell you, the problems weren't just launch problems. There were pre-launch problems. I have 4 pages of notations of issues with this airline. I mean, it really goes on, and I can imagine the competitive pressure, the corporate pressure, the business pressure to use this airline or this jet will be fantastic.
Well,
how much longer do you think it will be before some of the majors, American majors, really start buying this thing heavily?
Well, you know what? I think what you're seeing is 1,000 plus orders right now. So the airlines don't just willy-nilly choose the planes, and they don't choose it for one aspect or another, even including fuel efficiency. So they've done their due diligence. They've looked at it. They trust Boeing. I think you got to trust those airlines that they're making a massive financial investment in this equipment, and as such, they're staying with the Dreamliner all the way up to this point. I don't think the engine light and the issue with Honolulu's a big deal, and I think with the wing cracks, they're looking at that right now because that's something new that came up with a change in the manufacturing process.
Wow.
This plane is built all over the world and assembled in South Carolina and Washington, so that's actually really unique as well. That's never been done.
Maybe that's a problem.
So there's a lot of factors. Could be.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's the issue, is it's just too hard to bring together. You know, we'd love to see it work, but right now my concerns are huge. Mark, thanks for coming on. It's always great to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.